It's June 13th, 2007, and this is episode 1 of History Highlights. I'm John Kane, a technology specialist with the Phoenix Elementary School District, and History Highlights is a podcast that uses 21st century tools to bring history to life. Today's lesson, the Wright Brothers. For hundreds of years, people tried to fly, and for hundreds of years, they failed. But in the late 19th century, two brothers who owned a bicycle shop in Ohio began studying birds in flight to see if they could build a flying machine. The product of their effort was Flyer 1, the first airplane to fly under its own power. A replica of Flyer 1 hangs in the Pima Air and Space Museum in Tucson, Arizona. The Wrights used their background as bicycle repairmen in their design of Flyer 1. For example, they attached a bike axle to the front rudder. The axle allowed Flyer 1 to roll down a monorail to pick up speed for takeoff. The pilot had to lie on his stomach on the bottom wing. Museum tour guide Rick Felker explained why.
They thought back to Orville Wright's days of racing bicycles back in Ohio. He could always get a couple more miles an hour if he crouched down over the handlebars, cut down the wind resistance. That's why instead of sitting upright, their pilot was going to lie prone, cut his drag to a third.
The Wrights took Flyer 1 to Kitty Hawk, North Carolina to test it. After one failed attempt, Orville Wright climbed aboard on December 17, 1903.
Orville was in their usual working clothes, business suit, high starch collar, necktie, all that. Long handshake. He climbed on board, they cranked it up. He went down their little monorail, got airborne in 40 feet. Next time you're on an airliner, count the 40 feet it takes to get airborne. And into that strong headwind, he was doing less than 10 miles an hour over the ground. All he had to do then was keep it there a while, and he did. He stayed up about 12 seconds with 120 feet, about 3 wingspans, landed safely, must have said, "You're right, practice, we can do this," because they took turns through the morning, each flight, a little farther, a little longer. The fourth and last flight about noon, Wilbur stayed up 59 seconds with 852 feet controlled, sustained flight.
Airplanes remained a novelty until 1908, when the Wrights signed contracts with the U.S. Army and a company in France. Less than 30 years later, airlines were flying passengers all over the United States. How smart were the Wright brothers? In 2003, a team of engineers tried to recreate the flight of Flyer 1. They even used a monorail, just like the Wrights did. But like all those who came before the Wrights, they failed. Thank you for watching this episode of History Highlights. I'm John Kane with the Phoenix Elementary School District. Join me next time as we use 21st century tools to bring history to life.